All right, guys, what's up? This is the Cream Puff and Jeffro show on the Almost a Gimmick YouTube channel for your what was this pay-per-view called? Night of Champions.
Night of Champions, which was two champions, or yeah, only two
Oh,
championships on the line on a night called Night of Champions, which is its own thing that we can get into.
great. So I'm Cream Puff, and he is
I'm Jeffro.
Jeffro,
Yep.
and we're just gonna get into it. So I started taking notes at the beginning of this show,
Imagine being responsible.
and
I meant to do that,
well,
and then I didn't.
well, let me put it this way. I had this notebook sitting next to me on the couch, and I told my girlfriend. Well, I told my cat because he was in my way. So I told my cat to grab me a pen out of the pocket next to him, and my girlfriend gave me a pen with a unicorn on it. So,
Nice.
I was like, all right, I'm gonna take vigilant notes, and then I realized I'm not professional at all. So I took notes halfway through this opening match, which, for anybody who didn't actually watch the show, was Cody and Randy Orton for the King of the Ring match. And I got halfway through, and I said, yeah, I got to pay attention to this match, and I'll just wing it, because I feel that's more authentic,
Oh,
because
absolutely.
I can't just read. I just can't read notes.
Yeah,
But,
I'm good. Like if I'm recording a video, what I like to do is just have like just random note points. But if you look at my notebooks for like when I'm recording a video, it's just a bunch of mess. If you show it anyone else, it'll just be all over the place.
yeah, that's kind of how this is. Like, I got bullet points of when I thought of something to say, like anything after this first page. So, did you want to give your thoughts on this match first, or you want me to go it?
Uh, you go ahead. You can go ahead. You can start us off.
All right. So my first thought was when they said this is the King of the Ring match. First thing I thought was someone wants to get out of Saudi Arabia fast, and it's either Cody or Randy Orton because of the crap going on in the Middle East.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that was my first thought.
I mean that is honestly a
And
good argument that I didn't even think about. That is hilarious. I love it.
yeah. So I was like, it's probably Randy Orton just wants to get the hell out of there, so they're like bump this match up the card. And I just thought Randy came down and the crowd gave him a nice response, sang his song almost all the way to the end until they get to the spots that no one knows. And then Cody came out and he didn't really get much of a reaction until the O.
Yeah, I
And
found it a
then,
little awkwardly quiet too myself when I was listening.
so I'm not sure if that was just the way it sounded or whatnot, but
Yeah, to me it's kind
so
of the whole night for intro. Like for intros, for the most part, everyone seemed quiet.
we're gonna get to that in the next match after this one,
Okay.
honestly. But the ref I noticed was Charles Robinson.
Yep, the
And
goat, the
if
goat.
the GOAT, Charles Robinson. And I'm not sure if I ever told you this, but referee Charles Robinson, when I was a kid, he looked just like my dad.
Dude,
Like,
as we were sitting here having this conversation, that's what just went through my head. And I'm sitting there like, like he reminds me of, of your dad. So yeah, it's actually kind of
and
funny you're saying that now.
so I was like, yeah, I remember being a kid, and I was like, looking in the next room, I'm like, oh no, my dad's
No,
over there, so he's not at SmackDown tonight. But so I guess let's get into the match.
yeah. Overall,
It was
I thought it was a good match, personally.
it was a good match, but it was slow. Cody went for the Cody Cutter like 6 goddamn times. He hit it like twice.
Yeah.
Randy Orton did a superplex and then immediately sold his back, like his back was nerve pinched or whatever. And then he did it. I made this. He did his backbreaker that where he's the only one that I've ever seen do it, where he grabs the guy and does a backbreaker over his own back.
Yes.
And
And then hurts his own back.
I'm not sure if I just haven't been paying attention to his matches lately, but I haven't seen him do that in a long ass time.
No, that's more like vintage kinds of Orton, which I it felt like a couple different times I was watching a little bit more older Orton, but like me personally, I'm sick of watching him sell injuries because like I feel like the past like how many years now, like every one of his matches is just selling an injury, which like I get he has all the crazy problems in that, but like yeah, I feel like
Yeah,
it's
but
overdone with him at this point.
uh, they did mention on commentary that in 2008 or 7, in 2007 I think it was, him and Cody and Randy Orton were in Legacy together with Ted DiBiase Jr.
Yep. Who's a
And
punk
I'm
now?
not sure, huh?
Who's a punk now?
Well, yeah, I guess I was just about to say he's being indicted on federal charges
Yes. Yes, he
for,
is.
I think it's charity fraud, so he's
Yeah.
facing like 25 years in jail.
Yep. 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 The million
So,
dollar million dollar son, you know.
but yeah, like I said, Cody reversed a RKO into a crossroads. Got a
Uh,
2 count because he
can
got hit like 3 or 4 at crossroads.
I have to say one thing though, like I know they're a different move and everything, and I know where both of them came from, but it's so awkward for me to watch a Randy Orton Cody Rhodes match when I'm watching Cody go for Cody cutters, and I'm just sitting there like that's an RKO, and then vice versa.
Yeah,
But it's like his isn't even coming off the top rope, so like that's always just
well,
one of those awkward things for me. It's like watching someone super kick Shawn Michaels.
well, this has always bothered me since I was a kid too. Why can I watch one guy do one move and
Exactly.
it just be like a 2 count, but I watch another guy do the same exact move and it's his finishing move, like Chris Jericho's the perfect example. The
Yeah.
Walls of Jericho is
Nobody
just a
ever
Boston Crab.
nobody has ever tapped out of the Boston Crab, but everyone's tapped out of the walls of Jericho. But like I said, that's what I was saying.
Yep.
Like kind of like was like Shawn Michaels, like that's like the definition of like you know a move that was like so like fairly protected, and now it's like literally you have 50 super kicks a match, especially if it's an Uso versus Uso, then you have about 375. But like even like
Well,
power bombs. I mean, look at Batista had like I know he rolled him up for the Batista bomb, but like now just power
well,
bombs are done by like Gunther like 20 times a match.
yeah, I think when I was younger, I remember hearing Michael Cole explaining the difference between a Batista bomb and a power bomb. There was 2 differences. One, it was a sit down power bomb, so you get extra force,
Mm-hmm.
and 2, it was Batista doing it because Batista was jacked to the freaking gills.
Right.
So I was like, oh, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
But Chris Jericho weighs like 100 or 225 pounds soaking wet.
Right.
I think if the Undertaker puts me in a Boston Crab, it's gonna hurt more.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Anyway, Cody won. I don't. If you thought Randy Orton was gonna win, I don't know what show you were watching.
Yeah.
Honestly,
We all knew you know Super Cena Jr. was gonna win. But I do, you know, I know they're teasing him to go heel because I mean they keep teasing him with the punts. He was finally looked like about to finally go for a punt, and then Cody countered. So hopefully we can.
yeah.
I know we'll never get like a true OG like '07, '08 kind of heel Orton again, but I hope we get something. But I feel like it's gonna get ruined by getting like the Cena treatment because no matter how bad he was, because like you know as a big Jeff Hardy fan, couldn't stand him all those years. But now he's just so loved. I just don't see. I don't see how they're gonna make him just a true heel again. But we'll see how they do it.
I don't know. Just have him kick somebody in the head. They've been teasing. They've been teasing this punt kick for 10 years now.
Yeah.
Like he just started bringing back the taunt, but since
like
2012, he's been.
Mm-hmm. Like I'm not sure if they're gonna let him use it or not, or like what's going on. But like I said, it'll be interesting. I could see him joining in with Rollins potentially. I mean, there's lots of roots there. But I don't know if they'd ever put another big name like that into that group. But
No, I don't think so. I've heard rumors from the media, which take with a grain of salt until someone else confirms it. But I've heard they want to bring Ricky Saints up from NXT or possibly someone else that was down in NXT. So I don't think they're going to bring any other big name in.
right.
But with the Seth thing, we can get into that in the main event because
yeah, absolutely. Yep.
he came out in the main event and teased doing a cash in, but I was like, he's in his street clothes, so there's no way he's cashing.
That was the most confused. Yeah, we'll get there when we'll cross that bridge once we get to that one, because yeah, that was its own thing.
So yeah, Cody won. I didn't really pay much attention to the post match.
Nothing really happened, to be honest with you. I mean,
they,
for those who actually do watch this, I apologize. Like, yes, lots of these matches, because I kind of had to, like, sit through and watch it a little late, and like, this was a good overall event, I feel, but there was definitely a lot of lulls throughout the night. But there was also a lot of good moments, which we'll get to.
Oh, and if I upset you with any of the my comments or whatever, first off, I don't care. If you want to come hate me, you can hate me. But two, I've got this criteria that I'm going to judge all these shows that I ever review on. And it's, was it worth me getting out of bed early to watch this show? Because I just worked 12 hours last night, got home at 7:30, and woke up at 12 to watch this show so we can record this episode for you guys. So if I'm a little cranky, especially with some of the crap that I got tonight, I'm sorry, but that's how I'm going to judge this.
Sorry, not sorry.
But I'd say I gave Cody versus Randy a 3 out of 5. Nothing really. It was good, not great.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I feel like, and again, this will be a trending theme probably for every podcast ever, unless something changes. It's just the overuse of finishers, and it's like I said, that one just doesn't matter what match it is or what even company it is anymore. It's just overuse of finishers just bothers the ever loving crap out of me.
Oh, but I was sitting there watching the one of the women's matches. It was Jade versus Asuka, and I just remember Asuka rolling Jade up, and I'm like, wouldn't it be just nice to just have a random roll up? Like, just a random roll up, win the match. And I saw it a couple months ago on, like, Raw or something, and I was like, why can't we do more of that? Or why can't we just hit a finish one time?
Yeah, the problem with the surprise roll up is, I feel, especially with WWE, they have trends. Like, you can watch an episode of Raw where there's like 5 surprise roll ups, and then you can, for like weeks in a row, and then you'll go for like 2 years and just nothing surprise like that happens.
Oh, but back in 2015, every like 3 matches was a distraction roll up where someone would run out, and then it's like, oh, dude, what are they doing out here? I'm like, what do you think they're doing out here? And then Charlotte would roll up Becky Lynch or whatever. And
right, like shout out to a guy who'll never know he exists, but Simon Miller. Like, that's he always has that counter for distraction finishes and stuff like that, and that thing just skyrockets instantly. It is quite nuts. But yeah, I can agree with a 3 out of 5 on that one. I'll definitely agree with that. So,
all right. So, what was your prediction for this match? You predicted Cody, right?
Yes, I do have a working, functioning brain, and I did select Cody Rhodes.
All right. So I picked Cody as well. So we're both 1 for 1 on the night.
Yes.
All right. So match number 2 was Rhea Ripley versus Raquel Rodriguez.
And I don't know about you, and I was saying this in the predictions. I feel like this is a match I've seen 100 times, even though I haven't seen it. It's like the most crazy thing to me. Like, as long as they've been feuding, but again, this is okay. I'll give you a true blow off match, but like, I've been watching this for how long now, and just so many iterations. It's just absolutely nuts. But that's my rant on that topic. Like I said, I got into that a little bit in the predictions also.
Also, like I said, I'm sorry if I piss you people off. I'm getting a little tired of Rhea Ripley. I'm getting kind of tired of it. I get it. She's a sexy goth mommy, and she comes out. All right, but I'm sick of hearing mommy's on top. I'm sick of I'm sick of her coming out doing a big ass stomp. I get it. It's your entrance. All right, but you're over exaggerating. I'm sick of playing along with, oh yeah, the dark chick, but every guy wants a goth. I get it. I'm getting the same thing I got with Bianca Belair when she first started getting big.
Right.
I'm just like, I'm a little over. over Rhea. Take a break.
Yeah.
You know when I felt the best about Rhea
Yeah,
was
coming
when
back from
she got
injury.
hurt.
Yep.
When she got hurt and she came back, and we were there the night that she got
Oh yeah.
hurt because she fell into the wall.
Yeah. Yeah, it was the most devastating move of all time by a 100
But
pound Liv Morgan. It was crazy. But
but I was hyped for her when we went to go see her at Mania last year, and I'm just kind of worn out. It's one of those things where, do you really always need to be at the top of the card? I know you're not challenging for the world title, but you just were at WrestleMania, and now, even though you're not challenging for the world title, you're on screen more than the champion is.
right. Yeah, I can give you those points. I can say personally I am still pretty invested with Rio just because in my eyes, as far as like realistic looking, like, BAs in the company, I feel she is still one of the best. But yeah, she is definitely one where it's, and I think it's WWE doing it to him. Like I said, it's just the same stale. When you keep pushing out the same stale matches for him, and there's not really anything to do. Like if there was something to get
Yeah,
excited behind, like I said, like her and Liv, which then just proceed to get dragged out way too long, which is yet another story. But yeah. So like I said, I've rambled a lot, basically. Also, just to say that yeah, I feel like we've seen this match 100 times, even though I don't have they actually technically had a one-on-one. Well, they had to have a
yeah.
couple of them.
I'm assuming they have because it's been like 8 months. No, it's been almost a year
It's
since.
been more than that. Yeah, it's been a long time that we've just been watching this. And like and the crazy part though is like all the times I feel like this would have been like made sense to have this match. This is like the least made sense time because they kind of like actually threw it together in my opinion. Like she just randomly came out, attacked one time, and then here we are.
Yeah, well, I think it was supposed to be maybe Liv versus Rhea, but Liv got hurt.
Right.
So
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, yeah, it could be. It could be. But I mean, granted, I wouldn't want to see that either because again, we've seen that match now, like basically every month for the past year.
yeah, pretty much since SummerSlam. No, even before that.
Yeah.
Because Rhea
It
was
was
only
like
out
right
for
out.
like
It was yeah.
two
It
months.
was like right after WrestleMania because that's when Liv beat Becky after Becky beat Rhea at Mania.
Yeah, and then Rhea came back like the
Yeah.
next 3 weeks
Right.
after that.
Yeah.
So
So
what was the point of taking the belt off her?
yeah. Or no, that's right. She got hurt at Mania, didn't she?
She got hurt the night after
Yeah,
Mania.
Ned Mania after
And,
Mania, so they just took it off of her, give it to Becky, then give it to Liv. It was just a cluster. But anyway,
but yeah, that was just sorry for getting off on a rant, but it's our first show back. I gotta get my opinions out there. Uh,
exactly.
Now as for the match itself, the I first thought was, well, they're getting the bathroom break match out of the way first because
Basically,
honestly, I could not give a damn about this match. But then the video package played, and they're like, "Oh, we've been best friends since we came to the company." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So this video package actually made me care more about the match than I did.
yeah.
I forgot the match was even going on.
I say to be fair, they should have had these video packages like a while ago because like I kind of like forgot about like the whole like them thing until like today, and it's like, oh, okay,
Uh,
that is right. I'm
so
like that could have been a good building point, but I like granted I have neglected some of the scenes because again I just have had zero interest in its feud, so this is normally my like bathroom break kind of times too, but so maybe they did build on it more and I just didn't realize it. But again, just no matter what they did, I was never gonna have interest, and yeah, I don't whatever opinions you have in the middle of the match because the ending, I felt laughable, but I don't know if you had any other
eh,
points in the middle or not.
well, like I said, the video package did more. The past month of TV didn't do jack crap. So, like I said, this video package made me actually want to watch it a little bit. It's a street fight. I get it's a street fight, along with so no disqualification and all that. Why does there have to be a kendo stick in every goddamn match?
Because
Every no disqualification match, there's there's a kendo stick.
yes, there's especially women's. It's almost like they don't want them to use like all the other weapons, so like they just default to kendo stick. It's weird.
And I get why on
and listen,
and,
like again, and I'm a Rhea fan, but like the whole like belt thing to me was like, kind of just like I feel like we're like blurring some lines here.
well, on top of that, they're over in Saudi Arabia, so they're wearing their space suits
Yeah,
because
yeah,
you're not allowed to show skin over there.
yeah. Because let's
So
worry more about the money than human rights and civil rights and stuff like that. But anyway,
so so a belt is going to give you a welt if you've ever
yes,
been hit with a freaking belt. All right. That's the whole point of using a belt in a wrestling match. It hurts, sure, and you can hear a loud crack. But the point of the belt is you see the marks that these
yeah,
leaving on these people during the match. And to an extent, the same thing with a kendo stick. The only thing is, a
yeah.
kendo stick, it hurts, but it's
The-
safe. I know that's why they use them all the time.
Yeah, and you watch the
Because
splinter
you're
of
not
it
gonna,
pulling apart, and it kind of makes it look like you're really whacking somebody.
yeah, you're not going to get concussed if you accidentally get hit in the head with a kendo stick like you would a chair.
Yeah, this ain't
All
attitude
right.
era chairs out here.
So kendo stick kind of irritated, especially because those were the only two weapons. Was the table,
The table,
a
yeah.
chair that they didn't use, did they? Did they even use the chair?
I don't believe they did. I don't believe they did. Again, I was terrible for taking notes, and I might have skipped through some boring parts because, well, unfortunately, like I said, these matches kind of had some low points in them.
Yeah. So one thing that they did do, they took the cover for the announce table and they set it up over in the timekeepers area,
Yeah,
and then Raquel put Rhea through it, which I've never seen that before.
that's creative.
But because the cowling is plastic instead of wood now, it kind of just, after she went through it, kind of just sprung back together.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
like, it cracked. It made a loud crack when she went through it, so that was cool. But, it kind of just flexed it back together because it's plastic.
Mm-hmm.
Finish saw them take a table,
Yeah, listen,
put it on the top.
Like, I don't. Please explain to me what the difference of having a table exactly level with the top rope as opposed to being on a top rope, which looks more dangerous because you can't just like stand on it. Can you explain to me what that was?
Okay, so we were watching this, me and my girlfriend, and she started laughing because the referee was holding onto the table.
Yeah, I see that.
And I said, "Thank God he is, because these women are going to break their goddamn necks."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, to me, it felt like an unnecessary risk to make it look safer, in my opinion, because then you're flat-footed. There's no like in theory, as someone watching, there's no like, oh no, is one gonna fall off, or like slip their ankle or something like that. Like, you're standing on a platform with a ref holding it up.
I think the idea was, these are two big women, so we need to have a bigger surface area for them to, because Liv is like 90 pounds.
Yeah, but I watched Rhea do this to Nia out the top.
Has she?
Yeah.
What was the point of the table?
I believe so. I believe she did. Or maybe it wasn't a true finisher, but I know it. But I don't know. I know she's done it with some bigger superstars too. Like I said, I just don't see the purpose of the table. I felt like that was just an unnecessary. Like, if it give it any height, like or if it's like a ladder or something like that, I understand it. But like, I don't know. To me, the table just didn't work for me. And it's not like,
put it this way.
It's not like Raquel's like physically big. She's tall, but I mean, I don't know.
Let me put it this way: if you got a table in a match, and like it's the only table in the match, and nobody's going through that thing, don't bring the table into the match.
Oh, I'm a little concerned. I don't believe. Now I'm thinking about it, I don't remember it having Slim Jim on it, so I'm kind of concerned what's going on there.
I
don't think it was a Slim Jim table, so maybe that's why. I don't know.
I don't remember seeing any sponsors besides the Riyadh season.
Yeah, because probably Saudi says, here's our money. Don't put anything on it. Ring is sacred.
Probably.
I guarantee that's what it is. And I mean, they have enough money to do that, so.
Yeah.
Which is why, we sent our women over there that they absolutely, have their own opinions on. But I was surprised. The crowd was better for the women than it was in past years. Because, like, past years, like, you physically you've seen him going on like restroom breaks, no matter what women's match, whether it was good or bad. So it does feel like there's a little shift as far as at least cheering for him when they're over there, not just like
they're not
treating them
being
like second class
disrespectful or
citizens.
anything. Yeah, so I'd say it was a good match, not a great match, like Cody and Randy. I gotta say, Raquel, I give her a lot of crap because I don't think she's that good. I think she started working her because she had a look.
Yeah, she's very stiff. She's very stiff in
But
the ring.
I gotta say, she kind of held her own in this one, and
Right.
honestly, I'd give it a 3, maybe 2.75, 2 3/4.
For me, I'd probably say 2.5 for me, honestly. Like I said, to me, it never really got anywhere for me, which for a street fight, I don't know, it just never got there for me. So for me, I'd say 2.5 for my end.
Yeah, like I said, wasn't bad. It was okay.
No, it's not like we were watching Hulk Hogan out there or something.
That's fucking limping his ass out to the ring.
But yeah,
wrestled 400 days a year, brother.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I guess we can move on from that, unless you got anything else to say about it.
Not really. I mean, I know obviously I knew Mommy was gonna win. I knew Riyadh had that, and I'm assuming you knew. I don't remember what you put down, but I'm guessing.
Yeah, I had Rhea. So
I mean,
it was never in doubt.
There was never a chance that I seen that was ever gonna be any kind of a different result.
All right. So before we start this next match, I recently told you, but one of my podcast heroes earlier this year passed away. His name was Kevin Castle.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And he and Don Tony of the Don Tony and Kevin Castle show started, for the most part, were one of the original wrestling podcasters. So I'm just going to call this match and my analysis of it with apologies to Kevin Castle. Okay. Because he loved Karrion Kross.
Oh yeah.
He loved him. Like they were friends in real life. They would like message, all right, and Kross would be like, "Oh, I'm doing all this cool stuff," and Kevin's like, "Kross is gonna do all this cool stuff," and I'm like, "All right, Kev, I'm waiting for it."
Yep.
If this was the cool stuff that Kross was,
yeah, unfortunately. Now this match. Right. Go ahead.
What did I say about the last match? The video package made me actually care about it, right?
Right.
We go from a good video package to no video package.
Yes, which is insane in the new WWE because like normally there's everything has a video package for a video package. But this one, well, you have to remember though too. This one and like this is where I was kind of surprised because I really assumed this was gonna be the kickoff match because again you have to remember this was a toss together match because whether you want to believe Dom or who was Dom going against? AJ. Dom or AJ, if one of them didn't want to go to Saudi, or if Dom is legit has hurt ribs. So again, I know this was a thrown together match because why else would we put Karrion on a PLE other than last minute just tossing someone on there just because. But yeah, I was surprised this ended up in the middle of the show, which I mean I guess if you're not first and it's not that good, you're in the middle. Because like I said, Randy and Cody was not in my bingo card to go first. So I had low expectations going into this match, but and the other thing is like the crowd reaction for Sammy, I was surprised because like I said, it could have just been the audio levels, like the way the stadium was set up or something because normally like Sammy they started catching on and singing his song once he was at the ring, but like to me it was just like quiet for him compared to normal.
Yeah. Other than the whoa 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 stuff.
Right. It was like, just weird.
And they love him. Like they were loud when he won. But
yes.
He came out, didn't like last time he was there he was on fire, but that's cuz he was teaming with Kevin Owens and all that.
Yep.
I'm going to kind of just go in on this because I wrote some notes about this and they're not nice to Kross, so I'm sure he's a nice guy, especially if Kev liked him. But his entrance was fucking stupid.
Yeah, agreed.
But why he's he's supposed to be this big ass wrestler, tough guy, covered in tattoos, long ass hair.
Yes.
Why is the camera focusing on his wife lip singing his song terribly?
Yes.
All right, so that looks stupid. And then like they tried to jump scare us. I can't tell you if this is what happens all the time because I haven't seen the fucking guy wrestle in like a year and a half.
What are you talking about? The intro with Scarlett?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, that's normal. But
Does he wrestle? Like I watch Raw almost since they've come to Netflix and I haven't seen him wrestle.
I believe since they've been to Netflix, I want to say I've seen him wrestle like maybe at most 2 matches. At most. Like I said, that's why this is random. Like literally, like that's the thing. I've seen him in probably like 20 backstage segments, but like he doesn't ever wrestle. It's ever since the rest of his group there got out. I mean, it's just
That's right. He did have a group, didn't he?
Yes. He had what was the name of? I can't think what his name.
The Final
was.
Testament.
Yeah, Final Testament. Yes.
That's right. He did have a group, and then they never wrestled either. Yeah.
No. Nope.
Yeah, because they were doing that whole thing with the Wyatts.
Yeah. Yep. And then I think that's what happened is once they were supposed to have a Mania match was the rumor, and then obviously rest in peace to Bray. That didn't ever happen. And then right after that, that's when Paul Ellering, and then he ended up getting fired or let go or whatever. And then they ended up releasing the tag team, which I forget what the name of them were that he was with. AOP, yeah. So,
which sucks because those dudes, I know they get a lot of shit online and all that, but they're a good big dude tag team. They're not gonna light the world on fire,
right?
But
we need tag teams. WWE, we need tag teams. We have nobody on Raw.
I'm sick of seeing all these little tag teams. Like all of them are little.
Absolutely.
The only big ones we got are the War Raiders.
Yeah, Eric and Ivar, which I haven't seen them now. I don't know where they are because, like I said, the Raw tag team division just doesn't exist. Like we had the Judgment Day, whichever rendition we're running at the time. We have the New Day, who were just wasting their heel. We wasted their heel turn. Like all these years, we get a heel turn. No more Biggie to pop up as like a manager for someone else. Like no good feuds, nothing. It's just been one of like the more wasted, breakups. Like the SmackDown tag team division has so much talent, and yeah, Raw is just like we forget who the champions are 90% of the time.
So, yeah. So back to Cross, all right. Like I said, I can't remember the last time I saw him wrestle. So you'd think with that time that he's not wrestling, he'd take the time to work out, get into awesome shape. No, it looks like he's been taking advantage of the free catering backstage because he looked freaking chubby out there.
Yeah, I will say one thing. I will say one thing too, because like I said, the rumors are coming out now. Well, the stories are coming out now about why they won't push him because he won't take bumps and stuff like that. So like I tried to watch that with a little more. Well,
he doesn't want to take bumps, or is it like a medical thing?
He doesn't want to. Like
then why the fuck is he? Why is he in a wrestling?
I don't know. I really honestly don't know. But like that's the thing. So now whenever I see his matches, that's all I'm gonna be able to think about and like watching. Like I could kind of see it, but like that was like a small sample size. So in the future, when I actually get to watch him wrestle, like, once every like 3 months, then I'll try and pay attention to it more because. Like I understand like the slower style, like I get it. Like Roman Reigns doesn't really. I mean, Roman Reigns takes some bumps, but like I know he's another one who doesn't really take bumps. But like he has his special treatment to get away with it. But
he's fucking Roman Reigns.
But like if you're anyone else, like you just can't get away with it. Like that's just absolutely nuts. Like that's literally the business, and like yeah. But that is what they say about him. I guess there's quite a few that have come out and said that's why they won't push him and put him into the big matches.
But if this match is any indication, go by, send him back to either release him or send him to fucking NXT to learn how to wrestle, because either he forgot how to, but he did the same throw like 4 times.
Yep.
To the point where Michael Cole's like, that's other whatever the hell it was, like Doomsday Throw or something like that, or whatever Cole said it was.
Yeah.
He hit, and he's like, and another one, and Michael Cole had to be like, he uses it because it's so effective, and I'm like,
He uses it because it's the only thing he can do.
if
But-
Sami Zayn can't convince me that you're a devastating opponent or that you're good at what you do, there's a problem.
Yeah.
And
honestly, the only reason that match was as decent as it was is Sami Zayn, just because Sami Zayn can be him. But again, I really thought that, again, I knew this was a last minute decision to, like I said, to make this match because of what they had go on. But I figured at the very least they'd, like, since Sami's technically, you know, on the heels of trying to go heel, well, they were trying to tease it with Karrion. I figured they'd at least give Karrion some kind of momentum. But
you know, I thought that too, you know, because I was thinking with my brain, or not my brain. I was thinking with the mindset of, hey, what are we gonna do with Sami until the Royal Rumble? Because Sami's not gonna do jack shit until he wins the Royal Rumble next year. I'm telling you right now, that's what's gonna happen.
Right.
So he's got nothing to do.
No.
So we need to get him to, what's the next pay-per-view? That SummerSlam is the next men's pay-per-view.
SummerSlam, yes.
So got to get him to SummerSlam. Let's crank out 3 months of him feuding with Cross. Nope. What happens? Cross does his 3 throws, runs into the corner, and Sami freaking kicks him in the head. 1, 2, 3, clean as a goddamn sheet. And
it's a shame too, though, because like again with Karrion, like he's one of those, like, if he could wrestle, like, his storytelling is all that is great. Like, I like him as a storyteller, and his attitude and stuff like that. But like, cause like, I mean, I'm still waiting, cause as you know, I got away from wrestling from like the mid to late 2010s. So I didn't know him as like NXT or anything like that. So my first knowing of Karrion Kross was when he came out, when Roman Reigns was still champion. He came out of the hourglass and said TikTok. I'm still waiting for that. Like, I don't know when we're gonna get there. I don't know how tall that hourglass is, or like what the statement on that is. But I'm still waiting for that to finish up so he can start TikToking people. But like, yeah, if he could put some wrestling to his segments and stuff, he would be good. So I think that's the only reason they keep him around, is because he can do storytelling, but he has to learn how to wrestle, I guess, to be a wrestler.
Yeah. And that was like 2 years ago, 3 years ago at this point.
Yeah.
You know how long I've been waiting for this guy to be semi decent or give me any reaction? I've been waiting since 2015, 16, when he showed up in Lucha Underground.
Nice.
And he was in Lucha Underground, and he was supposed to be like this big mob boss or something, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
And then Lucha Underground shut down. I think he wrestled one match for him. Maybe. I don't think so. Went to TNA, and then was in TNA until I think it was 2021.
Mm-hmm.
At which point he bitched that he wanted out of his contract because he wasn't happy there anymore, and he was complaining about it. But motherfucker, you signed the contract. You're the one that signed a 5-year contract or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like a favorable contract to him. It was a contract that was favorable to the company. Where it's
it sounds like he knew he didn't have a job anywhere else, so he needed security.
Yeah. And then WWE comes knocking. He's like, I hate it here. I don't want to be here. So another thing that irks me about him, his fucking tattoos. Specifically. All right. Because you didn't know that. Oh, he might have not. Did he have hair when he showed up when said TikTok to Roman?
No, I don't believe so.
No. Okay. Yeah, he was shaved head. All right. So imagine this dude all shaved head like he was. I think he was actually bald before. Mm-hmm. All right. Bald in his underwear, and the one tattoo that he had on his back, he's got 2 of them on his back. All right. Both piss me off. All right. The only one he had on his back when I first saw him was that deer on his back. All right. And if you look at it, there's a thing in tattoos where you have to know how to end them.
Right.
All right. From what I understand. Whoever put this tattoo on his back didn't know how to end this tattoo, because it's a sharp cut at the bottom of his shoulder blade.
Right.
Just a sharp straight line, no flow to it, whatever. And whoever did the other one that they put on did the same thing. So he's got like half a back, and that annoys the crap out of me every time I see it. So
I love it.
might as well just put a suit on, be a manager if you don't want to take bumps. I don't know what to tell you, kid.
Basically.
If I was 14 when I wanted to grow up to be a wrestler, and I heard that what you just told me about him not wanting to take bumps, I'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly.
So I picked Cross to win, but of course I should have just went with.
Yep.
I went with my brain. I should have went with my brain and said Sammy's gonna win because nobody likes Cross, except for freaking nerds.
Yeah, exactly. So we were definitely both wrong. Like I said, if I was solely judging off of Karrion's performance, this would be like a 1-star match. But
I give it a 1. I'm giving it a 1.
To me, Sammy alone, the way he sells and the finish was a little weird. It was very predictable, in my opinion, because they just kept replaying the same move over and over and over and over again, and then finally he did what we all thought he was going to do. So I'm going to be super generous on this one. I'm going to give it 1.75. 1 3/4.
I give it
out of 5.
I give it 1, and that's being generous because I like Sammy.
Yes, that's the only reason I'm bumping this up is because of Sami Zayn. This match wasn't supposed to be on the card, and it should have never been on the card.
Our next match was Jacob Fatu versus Solo Sikoa. So this match, I was more invested in it than the other 2 matches in front of it.
Absolutely.
And honestly, I didn't really like Solo last year. I paid money to see him in the main event at SummerSlam, but that was more because we just wanted to go on a trip, and SummerSlam was only 6 hours away, so we took a trip out to there.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, kind of like I was saying in my predictions. I mean, yeah, Solo, they definitely rushed Solo too quick with the whole Bloodline saga and stuff like that. But I do feel he's finally starting to grow into his own a little bit more. But then we'll kind of get into the ending, in which I feel like we're going back down our own old mistakes, but time will tell.
I actually liked the match. The match started out with Jacob and Solo kind of jaw-jacking. Or no, they didn't even jaw-jack. The ref went to hand the belt to the timekeeper, and Solo just clocked Jacob in the mouth.
Mm-hmm.
And I liked that. No rest hold, no jibber-jabber, just get straight to it. They beat each other up, which 2 big dudes beating each other up, that's why we watch it.
Yes, that those 2 going against each other is literally the definition of why we watch wrestling. As they say, big man slapping big man
in their underwear. Yes. Nothing better.
Yes.
But it's quick paced. I think it only went like 10 minutes. It wasn't that long.
And honestly, the second half of the match I think was longer than the first half. But again, it was fast paced. It was exciting. Before any shenanigans, so I thoroughly enjoyed them going after each other. I felt like they had good chemistry together.
Heck, even the shenanigans, I didn't even mind it, because if it was just JC Mateo coming out and whatever, I would have been a little pissed off. But Tongaloa came back, and Tongaloa kind of sucks.
He still sucks.
But you know what? He came back, and I was like, all right, and his other brother is going to come out. Watch, it's going to happen. And guess what? His other brother did come out.
Right.
And I had never seen what Hikuleo... I've seen what he looks like, but I've never seen what he looks like next to somebody. All right. So when he was standing next to Jacob and picked his ass up, I'm like, Jesus, he's big.
Listen, the only thing I could think of when I seen him is he reminded me of that the Indian guy, not Kali, but the guy who used to dance. Shanky was his name? Shanky? He had a translator with him, and he used to like dance and stuff.
That was Kali.
No, this wasn't Kali. This was newer. Shanky, I want to say his name is. I'm actually gonna.
Shanky.
I'm gonna break the.
Maybe. I'm not gonna say it.
Shanky. Yeah, Shanky. Yeah, Indian professional wrestler, 34. But yeah, if you look him up, dude, I thought it was him. Like 1,000,000%. I'm like, why is he part of the bloodline? I was so confused. I'm like, he is the wrong heritage to be part of the bloodline. And that's all I could think of once I seen it. Because he's also very tall with the black flowing hair, and he looked just like him from the side.
Yeah, so
But see, for my problem is, like I said, I I know why we always used to do the interference with the bloodline. I get a little confused because like I believe it was last week where they referenced Solo as being the tribal chief, which I thought we settled, back like a year ago that Roman won it back. So I don't know why we said anything about Solo being tribal chief still. So I was confused by that. But I don't know. I've been enjoying just like I think that would have been just a great straight up match. I don't think there was need for 3 separate interferences. But I can't get behind this like just everyone pulling out of the gutter works for this bloodline that just has no relatability to me. But like it's just to me we're pulling at strings that just aren't there anymore, and I feel like we're just trying to recreate the OG bloodline, but like you can't recreate the bloodline. And Tongaloa sucks.
I think what it is it's you got so many guys at the top right now that are from the previous generation. While I think Jacob Fatu, I think Braun Breaker, some other guys are, I think, come next year, not the Royal Rumble coming up next year in 2026. I think by 2027 we'll have guys. We'll be debating who's going to win.
Yeah,
whether it be Braun Breaker,
yeah,
because Jacob,
yeah, the turning of the guard is
going to
definitely
be
coming.
world champion.
Yeah, like I agree. I forget what I was gonna say now. Go ahead. I'll try and remember what I was gonna say.
But I think this match was good. Interference. I knew Solo wasn't going to beat Jacob Fat straight up, but I knew he was going to win. I knew Solo was going to win because they just turned on each other. So
right,
we got to get more than one. This isn't a carrying cross situation where we just beat him like that. Right. Solo is actually worth something. So,
but the problem is now, what do we do with Jacob? Because like he just lost the little. Well, see, I don't know who technically the little brother is in that situation. Well, I don't know who's older.
Yeah, but you have Jacob. Feud with Solo. They rematch at SummerSlam for the belt.
Yeah, but what now? Are you gonna have but now you're gonna have to find 3 more Samoans now to be behind behind Jacob, unless it's gonna be Jimmy J
and Roman.
Yeah, but do you think Roman wouldn't be behind Fatu, and I don't know how much. Does Roman still exist? Like it'd be nice. I'd love for a year we could actually have like just one last good Roman run with it. But like I said, I just have a hard time buying just like I said this all these extra men in it. But that's just me.
It's excessive at this point, but like I said, not everybody can be at the top of the card, at any given moment. And heck, it doesn't even have to be. Well, no shit, no. It was Rollins' group that took out LA Knight. Never mind.
Yeah,
I was gonna say it doesn't necessarily have to be a Samoan to come.
It doesn't, which is why it's kind of a different.
So maybe Jacob makes a couple friends on SmackDown, like Jimmy helps him, make some friends, and this is leading to War Games, is what I'm saying, because that's pretty much all the Bloodline is good for at this point.
Yeah, like I said, it's like playing like a Call of Duty game. Like they just keep coming out with all these ones just out of left and right, and it's like, oh yeah, this is his third cousin, 17 times removed. Where did he come from?
Yeah, so Jacob, like when he first debuted with WWE, because I had seen him before, and I knew he was uber athletic. That dude
I'm
is
gonna
blame this on I'm gonna blame this on the company he previously worked for. His character was jack shit in that fucking company.
I seen highlights and it made him look so weak, but then like watching him, it's like,
well,
yeah, that dude.
he was also like 80 to 100 pounds heavier too.
Right.
Like when I first saw him coming to WWE, they're like, "Oh my god," and I'm like, "Jesus Christ, where'd Fatu go?"
Right.
It's your name, Fatu.
That's terrible.
You're not skinny too, but Fatu did a dive over the top rope on a JC and
yeah, that was
Tongaloa,
sick. That was sick.
And then fucking Hikuleo came out and took his ass out. Rolled him into the ring and Solo hit him with the spike and apparently he had gunpowder on that spike because Fatu did a freaking backflip.
Yes.
And then 1, 2, 3 and Solo's the US champ.
Yeah, like I said, overall, like I said, the first half of the match, like I don't think anyone can debate it was whether, the interference ruined or made it better for you at the end. The first half was amazing. And like I said, for me, indifference on the interference, how they did the interference, they didn't make it too terrible. For me, it was just the idea of it. They didn't I honestly didn't see that third guy coming out. Like, I'll give him that. It actually quite confused me because at first I thought he pulled out Solo, and I was really confused when he started beating him. And I realized it was Jacob because I looked away for a second. But yeah, overall, it was a good match to me. It was pushing probably match of the night. So I'd probably say what do we give Cody Orton 3?
Yeah, 3. I'd give this 3.5, 3 and 3/4.
I'd say 3 and 3/4 because, like I said, it was still a very good match altogether. I mean, they're just. I knew it was gonna be a good match going in, superstar versus superstar. Like I said, I didn't see him letting Jacob lose already. I figured they were gonna let him run that a little longer, or even have him lose at SummerSlam. But who knows? Now this can set him up to win at SummerSlam. So we'll see what they go with it.
Yeah, I just had a feeling. I'm like, Solo's got to get a win. He hasn't won anything since ever. So
since he beat Cena, it's just been all downhill.
Yeah. Well, that was that match.
It's like the reverse curse if you beat John Cena. I mean, look at he beat Cena and then he couldn't win. Austin Theory beat Cena, and now he's breaking up with a teammate. And we don't get to watch it. We just watch his teammate just randomly start hanging out with a New Day. Because we just can't get a proper Austin Theory face turn, I guess. It's just not in the cards.
So you had Fatu winning?
I did have Fatu on this one. So I did get this one incorrect.
I had Solo, so that means I'm ahead by 1. Alright. So we move on to Jade versus Asuka.
And this one I have a lot of bias because, as I said in my predictions, and this is where I'm probably going to offend a lot of people, I absolutely cannot stand Jade. I don't feel she can wrestle all that great, and I just can't stand listening to her. So I had bias going in. I really like Asuka, but I knew ahead of time that they were just basically going to bring in someone to take the fall. Asuka's a great worker that made Jade look a lot better. And so Asuka did her job, absolutely. But yeah, let's get into that match.
I can honestly say I'm indifferent on Jade. I used to not like her when she was in AEW, just because she was greener than goose shit. And watching this match, the best I can say is it went quick. It wasn't overly too long.
Yes.
Asuka, honestly, I think she was and maybe still is the best women's wrestler in the world. I'm a huge Asuka mark.
Absolutely.
But I don't know if it was Jade's size, but there was a lot of spots in here where,
agreed.
Thinking back now, I didn't think it was that bad when I watched it. Thinking about it now, there was a lot of spots where Asuka just couldn't get her foot to where it needed to go, or didn't hit right.
Right.
I'm not sure if that's Jade not leaning into it or
Yeah, it
whatnot.
could be
But
a mix. There's also some ring rust in there. 'Cause, I mean, you have to remember Asuka hasn't wrestled in what, like over a year, minus her Queen of the Ring matches there.
yeah, this was sloppy. I mean, it was fine. It was
Mm.
a match. Crowd didn't shit on it, so
It was a match that did what it was designed to do.
yeah, it got Jade over. I'm sure she's gonna be champion probably at SummerSlam.
Yeah,
Who's the champion?
I'm guessing she's going against Tiffy, if I had to guess. And
Yeah,
then we'll have, of course, the teasing of Naomi cashing in if she wins.
yeah. Uh, I gotta say, after this match, Jade, Asuka went for her butt to the face, whatever they're calling it now.
Yeah.
Jade caught her, hit Jaded, and then almost botched the pin.
Yes. You know, I thought for sure she was rolling over to the side. I thought for
I
sure
thought
she
so
was.
too. I thought Asuka's shoulder came up until
Yep.
I saw the replay, and
Yep.
I'm like, ew.
It was
Asuka
close.
held
It
herself.
was
She's like,
close.
nope, I'm not moving.
Yes, she's
So-
like I said, she's just such a great worker. Like, I don't care. You can put her against anybody, and they're gonna look like a superstar because she's just that good.
But
yeah,
But Jade's post-match interview, I actually somewhat paid attention to it.
I'm sorry, I couldn't. I don't know about you, and maybe it was just me.
Oh,
She had way too much
I don't
tan
blame
going
you.
on. She had too much tan going on in her face. Like, it looked like she was in a sun tanning booth for about 7 days.
I'm sure it was hot as fuck in that arena. That was all sweat that was on her.
Yeah, I don't know though. Like, I don't know. I don't. That's another just personal preference. I just can't stand when I see so much stuff going on in one face. It bothers me.
It was her eyelashes distracted me when like she walked out. But her post-match, she said something about if you're told you can't do something, just do it. You can do it, blah blah, because you're special or
I
whatever.
ain't gonna lie, I didn't pay attention one bit to it. Like I said.
Yeah. So at this point, because the next match is the main event, at this point, I was getting, like I said, I woke up 12:30 to watch this fucking show.
Mhm.
And I was starting to fade in and out, and all I had to say was, Jade, just say, screw you people, I did this, you didn't help me, because you're so much better as a heel. Like, the best part of you in AEW was the fact that you thought you were better than everybody else.
Yeah.
Go back to doing that, because you're not good at the happy, smiling baby face crap.
There are certain people that are just meant to be baby faces. There's certain people that are just meant to be heels. It's just how that works.
But yeah, I'd say I give this like a 2.5. Like, nothing offensive.
Yeah, I'll do that. Again, was it necessarily a bad match? No. Was it a good match? No. It was. Yeah, it was there. It was there. It did its purpose. The storytelling did what it was supposed to do. So
yeah. So, like I said, nothing really to worry about. I had Jade winning, and so
I had to double check. I don't remember.
I think you had Jade.
I had
too.
Jade. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, I had Jade. Yeah, no. I'm.
Yeah.
Yeah, why wouldn't have I had Jade? I knew that was what that was. So I'm technically at this point. Because there was 6 matches on the card, correct?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, 6.
So what am I? 3-1, I believe.
3-2.
3-2. Oh yeah, 3-2. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. 3-2, and you're 4-1.
Yep.
Correct.
So
then main event time.
It's main event time,
and the crowd goes mid.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck they were.
Dude, like I said, I don't know. Like I guess like I as we both are fans that were heavily criticized for when we were at our first PLE, our WrestleMania, when we got heavily criticized for being quiet in the middle of basically winter in Philadelphia. So even though we were still louder than they give us credit for. So I understand that stadiums can make sound not great. So like maybe again the sound is just not that bad, but normally Saudi is like super loud, and I'm assuming it's the same stadium because I think it's always right there in that main city. So
Yeah,
I don't
I don't.
understand. But we also had the fact where on Friday Night SmackDown we watched a promo from from the crowd. So I mean, there's that because a camel bit a wire or whatever. So I mean, there's that too.
Yeah. Leading up to this match, the pipe bomb from Cena, I thought was people were crapping on it. I thought I
I
liked it.
liked it. It did its job. Honestly I again I know that people have had mixed emotions. I've actually sincerely enjoyed this feud, and I even up to the point with the slightly cringe, but I appreciate it because I'm also cringe when I try and do things cool. The CM Punk life. I
Oh
love
yeah,
that. I thought it was fantastic. It was very awkward
I
and corny, and that's what it was meant to be. So like anyone who tried
yeah
to take that super serious, and you were like just like, oh well, what is this? Clearly, CM Punk is not a doctor of thugonomics. So it was never meant to be like just super perfect in the way, and it came out the way. So like I said, just this entire the only gripe I have is this should have taken place at Money in the Bank. That is my only gripe because, well, how fitting would have it been? But it is definitely weird. The turntables have turned, but the craziest part to me though, the one time I will say the crowd got nuts a little bit where you could notice them. It was so awkward when CM Punk was sitting in the middle of the ring with his legs crossed, and then they started chanting Cena before Cena's music hit. I'm sitting there like, this is nuts. Like,
yeah, yeah. They started doing that, and then when they did their face off and whatever, crowd was going nuts with their flashlights, and I don't know what they were chanting. I thought it was
they
Olay,
were
but I don't think.
I believe there was two separate chants going on at the same time, and it was very confusing. 'Cause I know one was Olay, but then it sounded like they had a different chant going on, and I couldn't pick it up. But there was a couple times throughout the night where they kind of had those like awkward same like two different things. Like at one point there was a "This is awesome" chant at the same time as a "Cena sucks" chant, and it was I don't know if you caught up on that, but it was very awkward. And I'm like,
All right,
just pick one and go with it. Just look
uh,
at your neighbor and pick one, please.
I'm not gonna lie. Like I said, I got out of work this morning, took a very short nap, got up to watch this live, just so I can get the whole experience, the video packages and
Yep.
everything. Because Peacock, I'm not sure if you know this, doesn't show video packages on replays.
Really?
Really?
That
Yeah.
is very interesting. I didn't. I hmm. I can't say I've ever noticed it, and I've definitely watched later. So I've never picked it up. But to be fair, I get so sick of watching video package. Like I do feel they're getting better now. But for a while, their video packages were just literally the same thing that would be like on a pre-show, and they just play
Yeah.
it back again.
Yeah. So I was tired, and at this point, after like meaningless match, like the only match that really had any meaning besides the King and Queen of the Ring, the only match that had anything was Solo versus
Yeah,
Jacob.
right.
So we had two matches in a row that were completely didn't need to be there.
Absolutely.
And about a couple minutes into this match, I started dozing off. Apparently, I started snoring a little bit, but I kept waking myself up and
Right.
watching the match. So I got the gist of this match. Uh, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think it, I think it moved. I
Cena and
think it
Punk are
went good.
they're like 15 years older than they were last time they wrestled, so it's not going to be magic. But it wasn't bad. It was good.
Yeah, I did enjoy it. The beginning parts were a little slower. Again, it's expected for the shape John Cena's in, and CM Punk isn't exactly, as they would say, getting younger either. Um, so overall, I mean, it felt like a Cena match. I mean, it felt like a 2025 John Cena match. We Yeah, up until the shenanigans started, it was just kind of there. I mean, about sounds like you agree. I was kind of like waiting for something, but normal, just normal slow 72 finisher attempts.
Yeah. They were going at it, and then I think it was Cena. Was it Punk or Cena that hit the referee, made a glass, and
Cena supposedly accidentally took out the referee and then went and grabbed
yeah,
his championship belt.
yeah. All right.
Or no, I'm sorry. Or did he? No, did he grab the belt? He grabbed the belt before. He grabbed the belt before because the ref was still up.
Yeah. I think Cena ran into the ref. Only thing that matters: ref went down.
Yes.
Made a glass bones, paper skin. Ref is dead.
Yes.
We are never going to see him again.
Yes.
All right.
To this day, he is still not up.
At which point, I believe CM Punk hit the go to sleep.
Yes.
Not long after that.
Yep, and then he hit the 20 count to no avail.
Yeah, 20 count, and then burn it down, and then Seth Rollins comes out looking like
he's gonna cash in with no ref.
Yeah, it looks like he's dressed to be in a mariachi band that's half death metal.
Listen, I love Seth Rollins. Like, he's of the active wrestlers, he's top 2 for me. But yeah, it was a very awkward walkout, I have to say, and it took a lot longer than it needed to, especially with no refs. Like, it took a lot longer than it needed to. Like, I felt like I was watching Roman walk out.
Forever. Like I said, I was dozing in and out at this point, and I swear to God, I dozed out 3 times, and he was still on his way to the ring.
Yeah, this took a lot longer than it needed to take. And
so,
yeah. And the crazy part is, like, the thing I was confused is, like, literally, like, he's taking off his stuff, but I'm like, you have 2 henchmen. Why are you sitting there taking your shirt off and that when you have 2 henchmen? Send your henchmen first and then start to get ready. Like,
yeah, what are we doing? Then they start beating up Punk and Cena, and
failingly for a while, but
yeah, they were just couldn't do anything right. Just like Marv and Harry from Home Alone.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually they take out Punk.
Yes.
And
then there's a lot of it was a very confusing segment. Like, I don't have notes, and it was confusing.
And then I remember this part because this part made me laugh. They had Cena over, and they were choking him, all right? And they were kicking him and choking him.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, go up top. So he was going to go for, what's his name?
Tsunami. Bronson
going
Reed.
For the tsunami splash.
Yep.
Bronson's going up to go for the tsunami. And then Penta's music hits.
Mm-hmm.
And I love me some Penta. And Penta's just dancing down to the ring. And I'm like, if you're coming out to help, if you're coming out to help, start running.
Yeah,
it's a long ramp.
He was disposed of rather quickly as well at the ramp by Braun Breaker.
That's what I'm saying. And then
we had Sami Zayn come out.
Braun ran up to Penta, and they punch each other, and then Penta kicks him with not a super kick.
Yes.
And then he's like, yeah, and then Braun just kind of stood up and immediately beat his ass.
Yes.
And I'm like, okay.
Yes.
So then Sammy's like, well, I got to get me some too. And then they start fighting along the ramp, and then they go over to the stage, and so they're like 7 feet below the stage, or they're below the stage.
Yeah.
And Penta's like, well,
I'll take everybody out.
He's like, you got Braun, Braun handled. So I guess I'll help you instead of going to, fight the other guy. This whole time, Bronson Reed is on the mat choking John Cena when he could have been jumping from the top rope and hitting the tsunami splash.
Yes. But it goes without saying we have to talk about the ref running back to the ring.
Oh yeah,
recreating
the ref
childhood.
ran to the ring. The ref ran to the ring, and I'm like, oh, well, he's gonna cash in. And then John Cena comes out of nowhere
and just wipes it out,
and just he flew like 4 feet.
Dude, that was a heck of a bump he took.
So, that ref, that was my dad, Charles Robinson. That's right.
Yeah. Yes, it was Robinson, just like the old days of him running down to the ring. So, Yeah, like this, it
So
was so weird because like I understand planting the seeds of like face heel, but like dude, he went face heel, face heel, face heel like 17 times in the matter of like 5 minutes. Cena on that. Like I said, the fact that I like I said, I should have had the notes down and I didn't. But like I said, with the title and I like I said, this would have been earlier in the match. Like I said, when he put the title away, like, oh yeah, I'm not gonna hit you in the face with the championship belt. And like I said, that's when the chaos started. But it's like he went from that, and then like they saved each other, which okay. But then he took out the ref as Rollins was like appearing to help him, and then went back and didn't help, and then
yeah, yeah,
shook Punk's hand like he was okay, and then did the weird face that he did with the Rock.
yeah. They hugged, and then Cena did the who farted face, and then went to kick Punk in the nads, and Punk's like, "Ah, I got you," and then
Then Rollins
and then
bops him in the head,
yeah,
bops Punk in
Rollins
the
hits
head,
him.
and then the ref out of nowhere magically,
Yeah,
he was alive.
he got his health.
He made
He got
it.
his chug jug,
Yep.
and got back into the ring. Counted the three,
Yep.
and Cena walks out with the belt.
And then one of my favorite things that happened though is he walked out and he's sitting there. He's like the show ends when I say it ends. And then as he says that, he's like not now or something like that. And then then it cuts out and then it comes back into him walking away. It's like you were supposed to. He literally said leave the camera on and then you turn the camera off and then you turned it on when he left. It was just so awkward. And then we just
Oh yeah,
like
you were watching the you were behind, so what happened on the live feed was he was talking to the camera. He says, "Don't cut away yet," and then like he's like, "You're gonna want to see this," and then he turns back to the crowd and he holds the belt up, and then he says, "Now," and that's when they cut the feed.
yeah. See, on my end, it cut awkwardly in the middle for like 5-10 seconds, and then it came back as he was walking away. Then it like replayed it. It was really awkward. So
Yeah,
that was just normal faults like they're having all weekend. It appeared like.
yeah, so with the shenanigans and all this crap, so we knew it wasn't going to be clean. We knew something was going to happen.
Can we at least appreciate Travis Scott wasn't there?
Thank God.
At least we have wrestlers interfering at this point, not Travis Scott
Yeah.
busting Cody's eardrum or someone else's eardrum.
Thank God. So I give this match 3. It wasn't good. Well, it was good. Wasn't bad. Cena and Punk are like they're up there.
I can agree with a 3 again. Yeah, not good, not bad. I I didn't like the interference. I think we could have did without the Seth Rollins segment.
Yeah,
To be honest with you,
no, there was no shame in Punk going down clean or Cena holding the ropes or something.
I was all fine with like yeah, or yeah the interference like the interference like literally half of it wasn't even focused on Punk or Cena. Like we forgot they existed for quite a while.
Oh yeah,
I'm sitting there, like, is the match like going on or like what's going on? We're sitting here. I'm sitting here watching the Penta Braun Breaker and Sami Zayn fight going on instead of what I thought I was watching. And like I said, but yeah, I could have just did without all the interference. Like even if you only had Seth Rollins come down at some point to like pop Punk on the head, or like just one of them, it would have been one thing. But yeah, there was just way too much extra stuff for just what could have just been a nice solid match. Cena having some kind of underhanded tactic because you can basically do anything with Cena because he's John freaking Cena. But
yeah.
If it wasn't for the distractions, I'd probably give it like a 3.5. But with all the distractions,
Yeah.
it definitely jumps it down for me because like I said, I could have done without it. And I know what we're doing. Like I said, with Cena as a heel, like he's supposed to be undermined, but at the same time, it's like a 17-time world champion doesn't really need 700 excuses to win a match. Like I don't care he's old, he's a 17-time world champion. So like,
yeah. So
like at some point, I feel like I'm watching Roman Reigns again. We just watched that for 3 straight years. Like I hope that before this whole Cena run's done, he actually can have like a good solid matchup. Like maybe they do it like Cody with SummerSlam, like clean middle of the ring, and then turn him face in the middle of it. I don't care, but I want to see him with at least a good solid clean middle of the ring good old fashioned John Cena win. But I don't think we're gonna get it.
Yeah, so final thoughts on the show. There was only like 2 matches that I didn't really care for. Was like I said, I'm grading this on was it worth me getting out of bed to watch? And no, it was not.
Not really.
Yeah,
Like I
if
said,
this,
if honestly, minus the solo Jacob Fatu match, it just could have been a Monday Night Raw show. To be completely honest with you, like especially like Rhea Raquel, because that could have been a Monday Night Raw show. Like I like Asuka and Jade, I understand what it was, but like again, that tournament could have finished on Raw and it would have had the same impact.
yeah, Cody and Randy, that's a pay-per-view match, so I can't really complain.
Yeah, that one I don't care what they're fighting for. That's just, I mean,
And Punk and Cena, obviously, pay-per-view match.
Yep, yeah.
Freaking Sammy versus Karrion Kross, that's an OVW match for all I
Listen,
care.
like I said, it is sad because, like I said, like good for them. You know, they get on a PLE, da 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 da. But if we were sitting here reviewing a Dirty Dom versus AJ Styles match, we would be having a totally different conversation right now.
I probably
that would have been match of the night. That probably would have been match
Yep.
of the night if we would have got that compared to these other matches, because that would have been a fantastic match.
Yeah. So, should we go out of 5 or out of 10 for the entire show?
I think out of entire show we can go out of 10. I think that's a good
5
solid
out of
metric.
10. 5 out of 10. It didn't do anything special.
It's definitely mid. I'll go a little higher. I'll go 5.5 because I think just a smidge above average because there was a couple. The matches were solid for the most part, but yeah, nothing above that for sure. So
yeah, but yeah, so I guess we're gonna just wrap up the show now. So if you enjoyed listening to us ramble about this show and bitch about some of the stuff I bitched about and the shenanigans that we talked about, like and comment on the video, and if you could subscribe to our new channel, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, if you strongly agree or if you strongly agree with anything, strongly disagree with anything, let us know in the comment section.
Hey,
and yeah, we'll definitely banter back and forth because weird, that's how communication works, which is a crazy thing in the world today. But like that's the whole point of freedom of speech and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which
if you want to go to the comments and call me a D-bag for what I said about Cross, you do that, and I will read it, and I will appreciate that you took the time to do that.
Yeah. Or if you want to come here and yell at me and say that Jade's the greatest thing since sliced bread, and I'm just a hater because of whatever reason, you can put that down there too.
Yeah. So until next time, stay safe, be well, have a good day.
Peace.